Moving forward here on the radiator, I found a flare fitting for a carburetor, and it's the same as the transmission. I stuck it down in there. I was able to get most of the transmission fluid out. Might have a couple spoons in it. But I finished welding up the front here on both sides. That's where the radiator is going to set. I welded some rod down in there where the hose goes through that cross member, so it's not going to rub a hole in it, hopefully. I probably ought to put a piece of rubber in there. My radiator's up against the frame here, and it's over on that brace there. Of course, vibrational wear holes in both of those. But I've got it down in there, and the hood closes. Don't hit nothing. So I'm going to make me a bracket to go on the bottom of this and hold a radiator in place. And I don't know what I'll do over there where it's touching. I'll probably split that and open it up a little. It's part of a frame brace. I don't know how much that tie rod end moves there, but that would be a good place to weld a bracket. I have to more or less clamp this radiator in. Looks like the brace I made over there for the hood, I didn't ever make one on this side. You see it down in there. That'll probably be a good place to hold this radiator from the bottom, and then I can make something to hold it from the top. Right now it ain't got no water in it, so there's not a lot of weight, but once I fill it with water there will be weight in it. I just need to figure out some way of mounting it. I think one on each side of the frame there on the bottom up into this bracket here would be good enough. I'll try to figure it out. Did some more chewing on this. Cut me a triangular patch panel. Let's see it moving there. And patched up all that stuff. Looks pretty good. Take a look at the inside here. It's pretty sturdy now. You can see there. Welded it good in and out. Covers up this mess pretty good. So one side panel, I'd probably just weld a piece of round rod on this to help us keep its shape. I've flushed about 20 gallons of water through this radiator. And there was very little transmission fluid coming out at the end. I don't see any leaks there. I haven't tracked my transmission level. I put a quart in it. Probably still a little low. But this is pretty solid. Good enough to drive at the block that I gotta go. I made a little bottom mount out of a 1-inch square piece of tubing down in there. Radiator sitting on it, so it ain't going nowhere. And the hard line helped stiffen it up. Probably have to put some gas in it. I don't know how much I had in it. Not much, and I let it run for a good hour while I was flushing it. Another day of welding. I started straightening this out. This one was off just a little bit, so I put it in there and welded it up into the fender. I did the same with this one. I haven't ground it down now, but I welded them down here in the bottom real good and solid. My idea was try to get these hinges stronger, and I took another piece of 1/2-inch square tubing and welded it into the back of the hinge. So now it's welded on the bottom and the top. Looks pretty strong now, stronger than it was. And I had some flex in this this front nose piece wasn't quite welded in. I'm going to have to use welding rod to fill some of these holes because it's just burning out. I used 3 or 4 pieces there, and I'm probably going to take a piece of round rod and weld it in here like this to make that even more strong. So just a matter of trying to get as strong as I can. I tried moving it back. I got it back pretty close to where it was. I've got like a 1/4 inch in here. My bolt holes are lined up, at least on this one, and the other one's much closer, so the hood is back. Sure, a lot of work here, but it's the way it goes. I think I'll just bend me one round piece and weld in there, and that'll give it quite a bit more strength. Do that on both sides. I got to get going on this rat rod truck here. I need to put brakes on it, rear brake lines. Yeah, I'll do a little more welding on that. Put one more brace on it. Piece of that 1/4 inch bar. And then I'll try to move on to the brakes here. Well, I did weld a little piece in there. Made it quite a bit stronger. And I went back to work on this. I got that brake together and wheel on it. At least I did something. I ran out of gas at home, so I poured about 2 or 3 gallons in it. And I put the headlights in. I ordered some, I got some used Volkswagen headlight buckets. I think these are out of the wrong year. They didn't really fit. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And I don't have any headlight rings, but at least it looks like it's got headlights now. Of course, they don't work. They're just kind of stuck in there. I don't know whether I'll just try to buy some other kind of headlight and put in it and not worry about this, or what I'm going to do. But at least it looks like it's got lights, and we'll just keep trying to get it a little better. Back on Mr. Rad again. I got some little turn signals finally. Yeah, I ordered these at first. Let me put down the phone here. So these are little teardrop shapes. I'll put them right here in this little Volkswagen curve. It's alright. I gotta watch this old drunk guy. He's gonna run me over. Dying on me. And so I thought it was a pressure regulator. Turns out that I had this valve set low. Anyway, I got that working again, and I've got a good fuel pressure regulator, and I've got the wires for it, or the hose fittings. So today I'm going to put in finalize this fuel pump stuff. I'm going to try to put in these two cat's eye turn signals. Just try to move on as much as I can. I need to put a round bar there to brace this fender. And I have to make some better brackets for these headlights. And I've got the, of course, the top little lights. So anyway, that's a plan for today. Hopefully figure out these lights and get them working, get my fuel business set up there in the back, and hopefully it'll run and continue to drive. This was an old carburetor, ran good. I rebuilt it, but that would probably be just fine, but don't have no choke or anything on it. The other one I should that came off of its electric choke, but it wasn't running right. I just haven't got into rebuilding it. So I need to finish welding this up. I don't want to be welding around them lights, and grind it down, stick my lights in, and then into the wires. I put a nice expensive regulator in here, 7.5 pounds. The low pressure fuel pump working good. Seems to be idling alright. Some of that might be oil, but I think it's just cold. I just started it, but it seems to get the right pressure. looking good. Not smoking to really speak of. There's a lot of crap in the tank. Of course, I don't know what the oil's like in it or anything at this point, but I think that got my fuel starvation probably fixed.